I think I'm live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another one of my LinkedIn Live events. And today's topic is going to be how to crack social media as a new and aspiring coach. Now, before I start, I'm just going to quickly check if I am live. So, a very fun thing has been happening with me for the past 1 month. Um, every time I try to go live, there is some sort of a glitch. So if you are unable to find this LinkedIn live right now on your phone, or maybe it kind of disappears, just go to my YouTube. I upload all of my LinkedIn live events on YouTube, so it makes it easier for you. And if you feel that you're unable to, access it, just DM me. I'll be happy to send it to you. I'm just going to see if it is okay. It's like I feel like it's sort of a punishment of me not uh, you know uh, sort of sticking to my word of going live every single week. I have tried, but the thing is that something or the other coming up keeps coming up. Okay, I think I'm live. Yes. Also, if you find my voice a bit weird, or I may sneeze or cough, it is because I have cold, because it is a little bit cold in Bangalore. So please excuse me for that, and bear with me today. Okay, so this is one of my favorite topics, because when I started my journey as a coach, the first thing that I was afraid of, it was putting myself out there. Because to be very honest, I'm an introvert. Okay, I'm not really a people person. I think if you are my friend, you would know that I'm not a very big like people person. I talk to the point, and I'm not one of those people who would go to a room and everybody would come talk to them, and someone who just is invited to all the parties. It is because my friendships are very limited, and it is because I am not really a people person. Like, I don't call myself a people person, even though ironically I'm in a profession that I deal with people every single day. So when I started my journey as a coach, I was very lost about social media, because first I was not in a program like LCTM, the one that I run. Then there was a step by step process of actually understanding how to put yourself out there on social media, how to create content, how to create offers. None of that. It was my journey was very very messy. So I was very terrified of social media. And I'll tell you the one thing that I was terrified of the most. It's very funny, and I can't believe I'm saying it out loud. It was that somebody would say something to me, and I will say it back, and I will get viral for all the wrong reasons. Right? That was one of my biggest fears, because the thing is that, although I have been very very fortunate that I have not encountered something like that yet, like any kind of a bad experience, I would say, that would make me like, oh my god, I don't want to post on social media. But it was a fear that somebody would say something wrong to me, and I will say it back, and I'm going to get viral for all the wrong reasons. Like, that was one of my biggest fears. So the thing is that I struggled with social media, and a lot of coaches do even now, because they don't really know what to do with themselves on social media. And social media these days is a pretty loud place. You see so many people trying to put up like different faces of themselves, and they do very complicated things, and they try to make it seem like, oh, it was not a big deal. And then you feel that, oh my god, it is a big deal. Like, it's not happening for me, I'm a stupid, right? So social media has become noisier with every year, right? In fact, when I was in 2022 starting my business, LinkedIn felt a lot more simpler, and there was a lot more content that had depth than now when I see so many clickbaits. So that is why I'm doing this live event for you, specifically if you are an aspiring coach manifesting to get inside LCTM, or even if you're not, this is for you, so that you understand what does it actually mean to use social media as a coach. So the first thing I want to discuss is, who are you and what exactly is social media? Now, this may seem very obvious to you, but I can't tell you just how many of you don't really understand what does it actually mean to be a coach, and what does it actually mean to use social media as a coach. Now, the very first question, who are you? You are a coach. Please understand that, and the essence of it, you are a coach. What is a coach? A coach solves a problem. He or she takes their client from point A to point B, right? You're not an influencer. Okay, you're not an influencer. You're not a marketing person trying to sell something. You're not trying to go viral. So running behind likes, followers, checking your LinkedIn, oh my god, how many impressions I got, all of this is worthless to you, because you are a coach. You're not an influencer. See, the moment you start obsessing about likes and comments, that you forget your purpose. You forget that you are here to serve. Yeah, that is your job. Your job is to create clients so that you can serve them. And Likes and comments don't mean clients. Please understand that. I have known people with 85 to 90,000 followers on LinkedIn hardly making 10, 15,000 in their coaching business because they were so obsessed with likes and comments. And I know people who have followers around 500, 600, and they're running business worth crores. I'm not even joking, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that you are a coach. Please remember that. For you, likes, followers, how many impressions I'm getting, how many people are saying, oh my God, I love your content, none of that matters. What matters is, am I creating clients? Is my content serving my clients? Are clients actually coming to me? Is money coming into a bank account? If all these parameters are not being met, then there is no point even if you're getting likes and comments. If you're telling me that, oh my God, I got 5,000 likes, and you're telling me that you're not making, even six figures from those so many followers and likes, then what is the point of it? So please remember that you are a coach. Now, second, what is social media? Social media as a coach for you is a way to communicate to your potential clients. That is all social media is for you. It is not a place where you go and show off. It is not a place where you have to look, oh my God, I look so pretty. You have to put on makeup to show up. You have to speak in a very coherent language. No, none of that. See, as a coach, your clients are looking just one thing from you, right? They're looking for, do you understand them and can you help them? That is it. That is the answer they're looking for. They're not looking for a polished version of you, an influencer version of you who goes to 7 countries a week, or who's writing down, oh my God, I did this podcast with this hustle bro. None of that. Please forget that. We are not influencers, we are coaches. So our job is to serve. And our clients are not looking for a polished version of us. They're looking to get help from us. They're looking to see, do you understand me so that I can come to you and get help? So, social media for you is a communication tool, right? That is all there is. How you communicate, what mode do you communicate in, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. There is no perfect way to communicate. I know people who do amazing written posts and they get clients. I know people who do amazing videos, they get clients. I know people who have created clients from emails. I know people who have created clients through DMs. I myself am someone, I'm not a DM person, as I've mentioned multiple times. I don't like that. But I'm a person who likes to mix mix and match the way I'm communicating to my clients. For example, right now, if you're watching this live event, there's a possibility that you're already my student, or you're my client, or probably you're manifesting to work with me, whatever it is, right? So this is me communicating to you. I don't care how my hair is looking, which is going here and there right now. I don't care what my background is. I don't care how I'm looking. I don't even care that I don't have the best of voice today, because I don't care about that. Because I also know that my clients don't care about that. Not a single one of my client. And by the way, I am a life coach as well, and I'm a business coach as well. So I have had clients from both aspects, right? I'm not one of those people who call themselves business coaches who've never run a life coaching business for themselves, right? So I get you, by the way. If you're an aspiring life coach or a current life coach, I am a life coach myself too. And I'm telling you that not once a single client of mine has asked me, Rianshi, your voice was not clear, you were looking this way. They have always told me that we were listening to what you were saying. That's it. So, social media is a communication tool. It is not a validation tool where you go to seek validation that, am I pretty enough? Am I this enough? Am I that enough? No, we are not influencers. Now, if you're concerned with all of that, then your goal is something else, and maybe I'm not the coach for you. If you are someone who's looking to serve your clients and you don't want these to be your barriers, I like to call these vanity metrics, right? Vanity metrics are not just likes and comments, but also like really superficial way you evaluate yourself. Like, how am I looking? How is this? How is that? Nobody cares, right? I frankly do not care. If I'm hiring a coach, I'm not going to care about that. I also know that my clients don't care about that. And anybody who cares about that, they're not looking for a coach, right? So be very clear with the purpose of what you're doing and where you're doing it. What you're doing, you're a coach, you coach, and where you're doing is on social media, and you use it as a communication tool, right? So it is not a validation game. Now, let's come to the major chunk of acing the social media, like cracking the social media. Now, personally speaking, I started with about, I think it was less than 80 followers. I just checked in the afternoon. I forgot. I wrote the number in today's post because I had a screenshot of it. I took a screenshot of it that, okay, these are the follower numbers I'm starting from. I don't remember the exact number, but I think it was less than 80 followers. And in the next 3 months, I got 5 paid clients. I made more than what I was making in my job. And in those 3 months, I think from less than 80 followers, from that to I think I got to maybe 220 to 25, something like that. I don't know, something in the range of 200 but less than 250 followers. Now let me tell you, when I got these number of followers, something very fun. I realized something very fun. Not all of these clients were, not all of these people who were following me actually became my clients. People who became my clients did not actively like my post, did not actively comment on my post. They booked a call, they got into a session with me, they paid me, they became my clients. And to this day, that's the case. Right now, I have some 19,000 followers. Okay, and I have two communities that I run, three communities that I run, and one community has 300 members, another community has close to 200 members, another community has 100 members. So maybe, like, you could say, like, more than 500 members I have in my community. Not all of the clients I have are always from my community, right? Not all of the clients that I've had in the past were my active followers on LinkedIn. I have had people who have loved my content, but they did not actually become my clients. The point I'm trying to make is that come out of this mindset that people who are liking or commenting have to become my clients. And if somebody is not liking or commenting on my post, that's it, nobody's watching. No, 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 please, no. Even today, my post hardly received 20 to 25 likes, and none of them are my clients, by the way. None of them, like, I'm not even kidding. The people who are my clients are not actively liking my post or commenting on my post, but they are paying me in six figures to work with me, right? So please remove this from your head. Okay, you are not an influencer. Likes and comments mean nothing for you. What means is actual clients, actual paying clients, and real cash in your bank account. That's what your focus needs to be. Now, if you don't want to make money from your coaching skills, again, this live event is not for you. I'm assuming that whoever is sitting across the screen, maybe you're watching this as a recording or whatever, you actually want to make money from your coaching skills, like you want to be a business owner. So as a business owner, your job is to solve people's problems, right? And those people can come from anywhere. Now, coming to cracking the social media part, I'm just gonna quickly see if I'm still live or I've just, like, gone away, because it has happened to me, unfortunately, before. And by the way, if you have any questions, you can just comment. I can see your comments, or you can simultaneously just send me a DM and I'll be able to see your question. Okay, yes, I think I'm still live. So great for that. Now, the very first part that you need to understand is who are you being, which is what is your identity when you actually show up on social media. Now, a lot of people think that they can feel anything about themselves, they can feel shit, but if they apply a certain strategy, it will work. It doesn't work, because coaching is very energy based. And in fact, anything you do, right, it's very energy based. People can sense your energy, you know that. Before they're making a purchase, they can sense your energy, they can feel what you're feeling. And that is why when someone is desperately trying to sell to you, or they're behind you, you can feel it, no matter what they say on the social media. When someone is desperate, right, you can feel it. And when someone is very relaxed in the way they're doing things, you can feel that too. So human beings are not stupid, they're very energetic in nature. And that is why 60 to 70%, I would say, social media is your energy, which is your identity, right? Your energy comes from your identity. So I want you to explore a few questions that I'm going to ask you right now. The very first question is, what do you feel about yourself in social media? When I ask this question, what comes up for you? Do you feel good? Do you feel confident? Do you feel that this is, like, play to me, I want to express myself? Do you feel that I have a lot to say? Do you feel really positive about it? Do you feel that, this is a tool I get to create impact from? Or do you start judging yourself? Do you feel that, oh my god, my colleagues are watching me, my classmates are watching me, my friends are watching me, my relatives are watching me? Do you feel that I have to be a perfect version of myself? Do you feel that I cannot say anything that is not, like, ridiculously researched on, like I have to spend hours and hours on one post? Do you feel that you're not really at a place where you can just be authentic, right? So what you feel on social media is going to reflect on how you actually write and how you actually show up on your social media, right? For instance, right now, like, when I post for a week, right, when I'm posting for 7 days, it takes me 1 hour to create the entire marketing for 7 days, purely because I find social media a very fun place, right? It is because I like myself being on social media. I have zero qualms about who is watching me, who's not watching me, who's judging me, who's not. Like that thought doesn't come to me. My thought is that I love it, so I'm going to do it. So I want you to focus on what are your thoughts about social media. What do you feel about it? For instance, some people have a very love-hate relationship with social media. Like they really want to do a business, but they believe, oh my god, I'm not a social media person. I can't post on social media. I'm just too above it, too above social media. Right now, there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with not wanting to use social media to market. But the irony of that is that you need to be okay with taking the other route, probably a longer route to market your business. See, social media is nothing but a communication channel, right? And marketing is nothing but communicating to your clients. And again, I've done like a lot of live events on this in the past, on marketing and niche and whatnot. So just go to my YouTube and just binge watch. So when we are talking about when we're talking about social media, we need to understand that social media is a marketing tool. So if you have a love hate relationship, like you have ironic beliefs like this, that I hate social media, but I need to learn social media for my business, then there's a lot of resistance there, right? So your feelings about social media are not really supporting your goals. Your goal being, again, I'm assuming if you're in, and if you're in my energy, you at least want to make 6 figures a month, right? So that goal is not being supported. Because if you have to fight every single day that, oh, I'm too superior to be on social media, but no, I have to be in it, then it's not going to work. Okay, that resistance is going to show up on your content, that resistance is going to show up on your social media, right? And no, you cannot copy paste things from chat gpt. Again, people are not stupid, please understand that. Coaching is a very nervous system based profession, which means that people can feel what you are feeling, people can feel what you're trying to make them feel. So when you use chat gpt and all of that, first of all, what I want to tell you is that when you do that, your original voice is lost. When your original voice is lost, people don't really relate to you. And coaching is a very people based profession. People need to actually feel that you're authentic, right? Right, only then they will open up to you, because coaching is a very intimate profession. People are opening up about their deepest darkest fears and desires and their goals to you, right? So if you don't even do the justice of opening yourself up on social media, then it's not going to work, right? So please examine what do you feel about social media, right? How many negative or positive beliefs do you have about it, right? Now, again, a set of questions I'm going to ask you is, what are your thoughts about first yourself on social media? So when you come on social media, what are your thoughts about it? Do you judge yourself? Are you overly conscious? Do you feel that no, I'm not good enough? Do you feel that no, other people are better than me on social media? Do you believe that no, I am good enough? I have a unique voice, or I have a lot of space on social media. What do you feel about yourself in relation with social media? That's a very important question, because again, what you feel about yourself on social media is also going to largely dictate your energy, right? When you are always very conscious, when you are always judging yourself or other people also, when you are always afraid, right, about, oh my god, what will people think and stuff like that, social media is going to feel like a scary place, because it is an open audience, right? So it is a boon for you if you are willing to work on your identity, but it is a bane for you if you have a fixed mindset and you don't want to work on yourself, right? So ask yourself, what do I feel about myself when I'm on social media? What are the thoughts that come up? For example, in the beginning, when I used to use social media, my thoughts were, I like expressing myself, but I am scared of what will people say. Now it is that I love expressing myself and I do not give a flying fuck about what people think or say and feel, and excuse my language, but that's really my energy, right? And that is why when my students and my clients also watch the stuff that I do for them, they love that I'm authentic about it. Like I have nothing to hide. Like I will tell you if I'm not doing well health wise, I'll tell you. If I'm sick, I will tell you. If something is going wrong technology wise, I don't feel any kind of shame, right? In the beginning, that was not the case. So I have worked on myself to come to a point where I'm talking to you the way I would talk to my client, which is in a very open way. I don't believe that I'm superior to you or I have to prove myself to you. I don't believe that you and I, there's a dynamic that I am above than you, you're above than me. I don't feel that. And that is why I can talk to you just the way I would talk to my client or to my friend or to my parent, right? As an equal. So what are your thoughts about yourself on social media? Now the second question, again a very important one, is what are your thoughts about your audience? This is also a very important question. A lot of coaches are in a lot of disbelief. They operate from that, oh my god, my clients don't, there are no people who want to buy from me. Nobody wants to buy from me, nobody wants to pay for my services, everybody just wants discounts. everybody just wants to get a lot of value in in a very small amount. People are penny pinchers, or people don't want to pay, people only want free stuff. So when you have so many negative thoughts about your own audience, again it's going to reflect on your content as well as your energy, right? Being in disbelief is a very exhaustive way to honestly operate as a coach. I mean, if every single day I'm fighting with this belief, nobody wants to buy from me, then my creative flow is going to be blocked, at that point of time only. How will my creativity flow when I'm telling my creativity, oh, what's the point? Let's just give up. And that is something a lot of coaches do. They will, show up for a few days and then they will give up. That, okay, that's it. Nobody is buying from me. That's it. I give up. That is not how it works. Do you know, have you seen those TV advertisements growing up? I hope most of you are. Those soap advertisements of Lux, or Clinic Plus ad, that shampoo, or Peers, or like the ad of Parle-G and stuff like that. So we know about these products, right? But they still advertise every single day. They still do it. Why? Because they believe that we are looking for their products, and they tell us how you can actually buy them, even though we are very aware, or that, okay, it's available in a grocery store. So imagine if a 5 rupee product is being advertised that much, or let's say 100 rupee, 200 rupee product is being advertised that much. Do you really believe that if you're going to sell coaching, let's say of 25,000, 50,000, or even a lakh, you don't need to advertise, or you don't need to show up? That's crazy. So please understand that being in disbelief is not going to help you. If you think that, oh, I'm going to be in disbelief, somebody is going to come and just challenge me. I'm going to challenge universe that, no, I don't believe you. It's not going to happen. Okay, universe reflects your energy. If you are in disbelief, universe will tell you that, look, here I bring your disbelief into fruition. So your thoughts about your audience are very, very important. For instance, something I teach inside LCTM to my students is the power of actually believing in the highest version of your clients. And that is what is different between LCTM students and other coaches who are always struggling, or who always have an up and down, up and down, up and down relationship. It's because you are not willing to believe. And when you're not willing to believe, you close up energetically. And when you close up energetically, you have created a wall between you and your potential clients. How will someone get in? Because you've already declared, oh, I don't believe in you. Another thing people do, another thing coaches do, is judge their clients. They judge their clients' ability to pay. If a student is coming up, they will judge, oh my god, this person can't pay. Or someone, let's say, who may not have a job may come up, they may judge. I've seen coaches like that, and I feel very bad for them, because it's not helping them. And you are also doing a disservice to your clients, because a very pivotal part of being a coach is believing in the highest version of your clients. Now, the third thing is, how do you think about your clients and your potential clients? Do you believe in their ability to pay you? Do you believe in their ability to get transformed? Do you believe that they are transforming even though they're not telling you? Again, it's a very, very important question, because a lot of coaches don't do that. A lot of coaches don't do that, and this ultimately stops them from communicating what is happening in the business to the potential clients, because they're always doubting their clients. They think that their clients are like babies, and they have to like handle them with everything. No, that's not what a coach does. As a coach, how much you believe in your client is honestly 90% of the work. 10% is asking questions, to be very honest. And this kind of belief muscle is going to get developed inside LCTM when you get coached every single week. See, any coach who is not willing to expand their brain is not going to be a successful coach. That I can give you in writing. Because when you are not willing to expand your own brain, how are you going to help other people expand their brains? That's not going to happen. The only way you're going to experience success as a coach is when you're willing to get your brain coached every single week. When you have an obstacle and you're willing to solve that obstacle, instead of sitting and feeling sorry for yourself, sitting and feeling, oh, nothing is happening for me. And that is what we do inside LCTM. We get coached every single week. My students come every single week and they get their brain coached. They expand and they are experiencing, like that quantum jumping in their progress, right? Like the progress they have made in like few months that they have been inside LCTM has been more than they have made it in years before. And that is only possible when you are energetically expanding. And energetic expansion is not going to come from watching YouTube videos or consuming content. It's going to come from getting coached, because again, information is not transformation. Okay, so So far with the identity part, you need to understand that the stronger your presence is, the stronger your identity is going to equal to how strong your presence really is, your presence on social media. And when I say presence, I don't mean likes or followers. They can be a byproduct, sure, but honestly I would say that right now in the world that we are living in, the a lot of people have a very short attention span. Okay, so even if you get their likes and comments, and you're fighting for their likes and comments, why do you want to do that? Why do you want people who have such an attention small or a short attention span to actually like or comment on your post? Why would you not want clients who go through long posts and long videos because they believe in transformation, because they have that maturity and stability inside of them? And this is nothing to do with age, by the way. I have had clients who have been in their early 20s, who have been extremely resourceful, right? They've watched my live events, they've watched, because I do like lengthy things. I write long posts, I do lengthy live events, and I'm always in a belief that my clients are intelligent people. They're not children that I have to go and remind, oh, watch my live event, oh, do this, oh, do that. I don't believe in that. Children are not my clients. And when I say children, I mean metaphorically. I also know people in their 30s and 40s who have an attention span of 30 seconds, and they're always complaining and they don't want to do anything. Those are not my clients. My clients are intelligent people who have the maturity and stability to actually sit with what is being talked about and introspect. So now these people are not always the people who are going to like or comment on everything. Of course. So I don't care about that. So when you are running behind likes and comments, please examine what kind of people are you attracting in your energy. If you're attracting like people who have an attention span of 30 seconds, and I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, I hope you don't do that. Okay, now this was the identity part. And one of the most important part is, what are you doing on social media? Now the first part is of the identity, wherein you master the identity, wherein you master what you feel about social media, what you feel about your clients, and what you feel about your audience. The second part is, what are you doing on social media? Now here again, I'm going to ask you a few questions. The first question is, when you log into your account, now wherever you are, you could be on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, I don't care, what do you do? Do you have a clear cut idea of what you are supposed to do on social media? Do you have an idea that when I log into my account, this is what I'm supposed to do, and then get out? Let me tell you, 95% of the coaches don't. They go on social media, they look at posts of other people, they will get overwhelmed, then they will spend half the day thinking about, oh my god, other people are doing so great. They will do nothing. They will come back to their life feeling drained, feeling demotivated, feeling, oh my god, the world is so unfair, I am the only one who doesn't know anything, and again other thoughts that fuels the victim story. When you don't know what exactly you are supposed to do when you go on social media, then the only thing that's going to happen is exhaustion and overwhelm. And why do you not know what you do on social media? Because you have not created a lean and clean business model for yourself. And one of the parts of a business model is having a lean and clean content strategy in place. Because when you're going on social media, your job should be to create first and consume later. When you mindlessly end up consuming, what's happening is that you are like one of those people, who do emotional eating, keep on eating, and then feel bad about themselves instead of creating. So your job as a coach should always be create first and consume later. Now how you're going to create if you have no idea? Because you have to understand that execution and ideation cannot happen together. You cannot think and execute at the same time. It's too exhausting for your brain. Your brain can 100% focus on one thing at a time. For example, that is what I teach people inside LCTM. I teach them how to create a clean content strategy. They know exactly what to post, they know exactly how to post, they know how to create a strategy for themselves. Why do they know that? Because I've taught them a very step by step manner that this is your offer, this is how you market it, this is how you do things. So they know how to experiment, they know how to do client creation strategies, they know everything. So when they're going on social media, they are not clueless. So if you don't know what to do on social media, overwhelm and exhaustion is going to happen. Your job should be first to ideate and then to execute. Every single day when you open your account, it should not feel like a surprise that, okay, I don't know what to do. Now I have to first figure out what to do and then do it. That's going to take a lot of time. And a lot of times you will not be able to do it because, let's be honest, okay, we don't live a same day every single day. Some days you're going to have a shitty day, someday you're going to feel completely disconnected from things, someday you're going to feel that, okay, I just don't want to do anything, I don't want to look at social media, right? And if you do your business like this, like on the basis of your mood, then your revenue will also be like this. It on the basis of your mood, it'll not be consistent. It'll not reflect the goals or the desires that you actually have. So to build a discipline like this, you need to know what is a clean and clear strategy that I'm following. Now, the second question, which is an extension of the first one, is that when you are on social media, do you know exactly what your goal is? How are you going to execute that goal? And what do you need for that goal? So, for example, when you go on social media as a coach, do you even have an idea what you're doing? Are you posting content? Are you, uh, connecting with people? Are you talking to potential clients? What are you doing? Second, do you know how to do it? For example, let's say the first thing is clear to you that, okay, I want to market my coaching services. Okay. Do you know how to market it? Do you know what is the form you're taking to market it? Like, what is the path you're taking? Right. Now, let's say you also know that. Let's say that you have decided, okay, I'm going to write written posts for my marketing. Second is, do you know how to do it? Do you have a content strategy at place? Do you have an idea of how I'm going to put it out? Do you have an idea that, okay, this is how my process is going to look like, my sales process is going to look like, this is the process I'm going to follow? Do you have a process? Because again, when you are process oriented, you don't have overwhelm. And I always recommend having a sense of process in the beginning, because in the beginning your intuition has not developed as a coach to a level where you can just do impromptu things. You can, right? After a level, I highly recommend that, because when you have just entered coaching, your because intuition is also developed through experience. Okay, you don't have experience enough to actually have intuition in the beginning. And what is going to lead to a rich experience is a process driven approach. When you have a process, you're not overwhelmed and you're consistent. See, the only reason we are not consistent as a coach is when we don't know what to do, or we are very overwhelmed all the time. And overwhelm can either come from your identity, or it can come from your process, lack of process, I would say. So, do you know what exactly your goal is? Do you know what exactly you want to do, you need to do? And do you have an idea of how to actually do it? Do you know what you need to do it? Right? So, these are the questions you need to really reflect on. If the end of the answer is no, then you need help, and we all need help. And this is why LC team has been designed. It has been designed for ambitious, aspiring, and like current life coaches like you, so that you can get all the support you need in one place without feeling overwhelmed. For example, one thing my clients do in every Friday, coaching call. By the way, if you don't know, inside LCTM, it's a lifetime program. So every single Friday we meet for coaching, and my clients get one-on-one coached by me, and they discuss their content strategy, they discuss their marketing strategy, they discuss their client creation strategy, they discuss about their client case studies, they discuss how the sessions went, what are the questions they can ask. So everything is so open, everything is so informative and so transformative that my students are getting transformed every single week, so they don't feel stuck, right? Because as coaches, obviously we'll be solving one problem or the other every week, right? Whatever personal problem my students also have, they bring it, right? They bring it in a session and I help them. So that is how your journey as a coach should look like: continuous expansive growth without exhaustion. And how will that happen? That will happen inside a coaching container where where your brain is expanding every single week, right? And for that, you need to get inside LGTM, because there's no better program than that. Most programs are 3 months, 6 months, 7 months. No program is a lifetime program, because that is a level of commitment that most people don't like to make, because again, they're looking for profit more than service. And that's not what our goal inside LCTM is. Because inside LCTM, my goal from the beginning has always been to create coaches who are at ease, right? Because that is what I desired from the very beginning. In the beginning, I did not have a program like this where I could feel at ease, right? And coaching is not an elitist profession, and it should never be that only those who have all the time in the world should get to do it. If you're a corporate professional with a full-time job, if you're a mother, if you're a father, you should be able to, you should have a chance to create your business, right, without feeling rushed. And that is why LCTM was created, with that vision in my mind, that I want it to be an equitable thing. It should not be that, oh, it is only for people who have all the time in the world. I had the privilege of that, because I'm not, a married person. I was not cooking every single day. I was living at my house. So all I had to do was just focus on my business. But that is not the case with everyone, right? And now that I live away from my home, I live in a different city. I have a bit more work, obviously, still less than most people who are parents or who have full time jobs. I cannot fathom being in a group program, or a program which just ends like quickly, specifically a business building program. Because building a business is a long journey. It is not a short, quick journey. It is not a hack. Anyway, coming to the last point that I wanted to make is that the more focused your action will be, the more consistent your presence will be, and the more people will vibrate at their level and they will want to buy from you. Because see, people buy easily from you when they trust you. And how will they trust you? When they see consistently you being present and displaying your expertise to you, right? Displaying your expertise to them. Sorry. So that is only going to happen when you have a clear and clean process. I always tell my students as well that you shouldn't be working more than 3 hours a day, and that too. I am a full-time coach. Okay, I'm a business coach. I'm running an entire training program. I also have my life coaching one-on-one practice. I don't work more than 3 to 4 hours. I'm not even joking. I don't work more than 3 to 4 hours because there's not more. There is no more work to do, and those 3 to 4 hours that I'm working, it's focused work. It's focused and clean and clear work. It is not messy. It is not here and there, and that is why it takes me just that amount of time. And the rest of the time, I'm able to focus on my thoughts because that is what coaching is, right? Deep focused coaching, high level coaching is being able to go within in your thoughts, analyzing your clients case studies so that you can serve even better. Now the last part of today's conversation is I want to bust a few myths. The first one is followers is equal to cash. No, absolutely not. You have any iota of doubt, go talk to people, go talk to more people. But if you trust me, take it from me, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't absolutely mean that. My I have gotten six-figure clients when I had followers less than 1,000. I get that even today when I have followers less than 20,000. And also, it hasn't made any difference. The process has been the same. The more focused I am, the more focused my clients are on working with me. That is the process. Followers do not mean anything. People can follow you for any reason, right? People can follow you just passively. They may not want to buy from you, and there could be a person who does not follow you, but they're consuming you every single day. So followers do not mean jack shit. Please understand that. What matters is strategy, and focused way of communicating to your clients. Now, the second thing is that there are already too many people. Oh God, this was a myth I had. So in the beginning, I used to feel that, oh my God, there are too many coaches, right? I used to feel that. Then I spent some time in the industry. It's been 3 years that I have been coaching. And let me tell you one thing. All the coaches that you see on LinkedIn or Instagram, right? I'm going to talk about LinkedIn more because I'm not really present on Instagram as a coach. uh, Hardly 10 to 15 or max 20% are actually making money. 80% of them have simply gotten the certificate, and they've nicely written coach on their LinkedIn bio. They get clients. First of all, some of like most of them hardly get any clients, or they don't get any clients because they've made no efforts to monetize the service, right? That's the thing. A lot of people go to these certification organizations. They get the certificate, they do peer-to-peer coaching, they don't learn monetization, and they sit on the certificate at home, right? Or some of them will hardly get one or two clients in a year, and they have written coaches. People who are actually making money from full-time coaching are very less. And imagine how many clients there are for you in this world, because 80% of the people don't know how to reach to their clients, or they don't have the belief, or they don't have the skill, or they simply don't know how to monetize the business. They really don't know. So believe me when I tell you, there are very less coaches who know what they're doing. Very less. I have also seen people who were doing very well when I started out, and they just quit in the middle. Why do most coaches quit, by the way, before 2 years of the business? Why? Because they stop learning. And when I say learning, I don't mean just coaching. As a business owner, learning how to expand your business, learning how to expand the way you can actually add value to your clients. So no, there are not too many, there are actually very few coaches. Now, the third thing is people will judge me. So I'm just going to say a couple of things to this. First of all, people don't judge you. Okay, people are curious. If someone is asking you a question, they are simply curious about your work. They're simply curious about what you are doing. If someone has a condescending tone, it is either because they don't understand you, or they're probably just a jerk. Now, if they don't understand you, you have two options. You can either offer understanding, you can tell them that, okay, this is what I do. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If they are downright a jerk, and again, this is, I think, a very rare occurrence, not just for me, but for most people, then you just block them. Just block. Why do you want to engage with people like that? Just block people who are rude to you. Why do you want to prove anything, right? They're not going to be your clients. And frankly, I have a philosophy. Someone who's not nice to you, someone who's not going to be your client, why do you want to engage with them? Like, just let it go. right? They are probably so horrible to you because they are so horrible to themselves also, right? Because we always give what we have inside. Anybody who is like downright horrible to you is because they have that ugliness inside, so they're suffering 10 times more than they want to make you suffer, right? Now, the last part, and again a very important part, is random posting and feeling exhausted means that I'm working. It doesn't. First of all, when you're randomly posting, it gives you an illusion that, oh my God, I'm posting content. No, you want to measure your success. Look at the last 4 months of your life. I'm not even saying 1 month. Look at the last 4 months of your business. See how many clients you've got and how many have actually paid you. Okay. Second is, just because I'm exhausted, it means that I've worked. No, actual work is never exhausting. Specifically in a coaching business, actual work is never ever ever exhausting. Why? Inside LCTM, I've spoken about it so many times. What is your work as a coach? First is to do coaching. Coaching is never exhausting. Coaching is beautiful. Second, creating marketing strategies, not at all exhausting. Why? Because inside LCTM you learn a process, a step by step process. So if you are exhausted, it's probably you're overthinking. So just because you're overthinking doesn't mean that you're actually working. Please understand the depth of it. Just because you're overthinking and you feel exhausted doesn't mean that you have actually put in the right amount of focused work, not in quantity but quality. So please understand, randomly posting or doing anything here and there, showing up randomly, it doesn't really do much. Okay, specifically in the beginning, as an aspiring and as a new coach. Now, if you are someone who is an aspiring life coach, or you're a new life coach and you want to get inside a program where like as an aspiring coach, you want to get certified and trained and you want to make your first 6 figures and multiples of it. And if you are a new life coach and you want to get inside a program and you want to make your first 6 figures and multiples of it, then you need to join LCTM. Because inside LCTM, not only do you sharpen your coaching skills, but you also learn monetization in a step-by-step manner. And the best part is that you get coached every single week around every block that you have. Right? You get one-on-one time with me inside a group coaching call, and you get to ask as many questions as you want. So you are always supported for life. I, as a coach, am a very big believer of building your business with vision and ease. And vision comes from focus, not from here and there randomly shooting in the air. And it comes from ease only, because coaching is a very nervous system based profession. When you're tight in the chest, when you're always tight, when you're always in that survival and struggle mode, you will not be able to serve your clients, because you yourself are unable to come out of your survival mode. How will you help your clients come out of it? Right? So you need to put yourself first. Your biggest investment is in your brain. So if you don't invest in your brain, how will you help your clients expand their brain? Right? And if you have any questions about LCTM, feel free to DM me. I would be happy to answer any of them. I also have free community where I write on building a life coaching business every single day. And I also have multiple trainings and multiple live events that I've done. You can find all of them on my LinkedIn bio. And I have a free training called 6 Figure Life Coaching Blueprint. So if you're interested, you can get that. Okay. I don't think we have any questions. Someone has asked, can you coach soft skills? I don't think I understand that question. Are you talking about, do I coach people around their soft skills? So I'm guessing you're talking about communication. So no, I'm not a communication trainer. So when it comes to communication, you need less coaching and more training. Now I'm going to tell you a very fun thing. This is a little bit different from the topic we're talking about. Most people that I've coached, 99% of them, they did not have a communication problem, they had a confidence problem. See, when you're an anxious person and you lack confidence, you're unable to express yourself. Okay, you're unable to express yourself. You eat up words, you're always nervous, and you think you have a communication problem. If you can speak in basic English, or basic whatever tongue, or whatever tongue you speak, then you have no communication problem. Your problem is confidence or probably anxiety. So if you want to get coached around confidence and anxiety, then of course you can always book a one-on-one session with me. You can drop me a DM coaching and I'll be happy to help you. Let's see if we have any more questions. And if you're watching this as a YouTube video, I also check my YouTube comment section. So if you feel like you want to drop your question there, you can always do it. And of course, you know that my DMs are always open for you guys. Now we'll be doing the next live event, uh, like probably on Thursday. So I'll see you there. And that live event is also going to be on understanding marketing as a social media, as a coach. And I'll be coming up with a lot of exciting stuff in this particular month. So I hope you stick around. And if you would like to be in my energy more, then the best is join my WhatsApp community. I text or send audio coaching every single day there. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. And I hope to see you all soon. Bye bye.